Hello, everybody. Welcome to Large Scale Consolidated Live. I'm Andrew Fitch, MrPictovid, with my co-host and fellow model railroader, Sean Conahay of Datum Productions.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is ready for a great show tonight. We have a wonderful guest, and he's got a lot of nice surprises lined up for everybody on this our live show. So make sure you stay to the very end, because well, I'll let him tell the surprises. But go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. So this evening, we actually our guest is mentioned in the title is Colin Camarillo. He's going to talk to us about several different products that he makes, that he 3D prints and whatnot. But I'll let him talk more about it, since he obviously knows more about it since he makes it. But without further ado, here's our guest for this evening, Colin Camarillo.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey,
Good. How about you? How you doing?
Doing great. Hello everybody on YouTube. I can see all the comments. This is great.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in the chat already. 26 watching, so we have quite a gathering right from the get-go. So this is good.
This is awesome. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being a part of our show, our second live show.
Yeah, this is a start of a good new thing that you guys are doing. So I really like it.
Great, glad to hear that. And so, what do you have to show us today and talk about?
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I mean, it's right here. So, I'm a G-scaler, and I'm part of the Bay Area Garden Railway Society. And, couplers are a big part of trains. I mean, they're very important. Without them, they're just like wheels, right? Without them, they're not a train. And so, my partner and I, Ted Descaris, and I have come up with a product, now a product line, of solutions for adapting Kadee 907 couplers for optimal operational ability on select number of cars and locomotives.
Great. And so these couplers you're providing the G-Scale community, they're 3D printed, correct?
They are 3D printed. They are resin printed, so it's not that normal extruded plastic that you would see. It's printed from literally liquid and then turns into a solid. So, and you get really precise prints and an actual product. So, yeah.
And these couplers help put, or these boxes help put the couplers in proper alignment.
Yeah. So the objective is to get away from the large offset couplers, which are usually truck mounted, or even they are some of them are body mounted, but they tend to bow when under pressure, and they don't really give you that good the good couple, I guess you would say. And so they don't also slip out from under another coupler, depending on elevation change and track work and whatnot. So, but it gives you the strongest point when you body mount everything. So everything we do is body mount. And our objective, Ted and I, our objective is to minimize the amount of, I guess you would say, hacking or destruction to the model, and to try and keep it as original as it can be, and prototypical. So yeah, it really is a matter of operations. How this all came about is, when I had my truck mounted couplers and I'd back up a train, we were saying 15 cars into a siding, and let's say it goes around a curve, they're going to buckle and it's going to go off the tracks. So it's not ideal. So body mounting everything is a requirement for me. and that's how the real railroads do it. So they don't have truck mounted stuff. So this turns your toy into a actual model.
Great. And do you find that putting these coupler boxes on and going body mount limits to the type of radius of curves that you can use, or?
Yes, but it's the 8-foot, I guess you'd say 8-foot diameter or 4-foot radius. Is it kind of a standard for most of the manufacturers aside from LGV, because everything they make works on the 4-foot diameter.
Right.
But for the real models that you have, the ones that really look good and they're actually bigger, they have like I think 8 or a 10-foot minimum. So all of our products work with an 8-foot minimum diameter circle.
Okay, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of garden railroads out there that have plenty of room, at least have.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I mean, this is not for everybody, right? And so it's, it depends on what you're modeling. We have a specific set of products we make, so we're not for everybody yet. We're still growing, but we're taking each product at a one step at a time, and it's been overwhelming to see the reception of people that are getting into the product. So it's pretty cool. So.
And exactly what manufacturers of can these people put these coupler boxes on? Can they do it like LGB or USA Trains, Aristo, or?
Yeah, so we started off with USA Trains, and then we have migrated to some of the aristo-craft products, but we've also stayed true to our neighbors next door here in the Bay Area, AML. So AML, we're working on some of their. We've got, I think, 3 products for their rolling stock right now. So that's been their 129 scale rolling stock. So we've kind of been staying with the 129 scale, and we're using the G scale or the G gauge Kadee couplers. So yeah.
Okay.
So those 3 manufacturers right now.
And what Kadee product number couplers are you guys use or recommend?
907s.
All right, great.
907 straight center set shank.
Straight center set shank. Yep. These guys.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's what I thought they were.
Yeah, and I like the fact that your coupler boxes, you can fit them into locomotives, without, like you said, the least destruction as possible. They still fit pretty nicely in there.
There is a little bit of you will have to cut on the pilot, depending on the locomotive height. Not much, but you still have to make a little notch, and it's it's minimal, but it actually makes it look way better because we actually make a plug that kind of plugs up that ugly opening for the hook and loop couplers and their original manufactured couplers, and it just makes it look more like a real model.
Yeah, and for the viewers that are watching today, that are watching you, do you have something special to tell them as far as the couplers, as they watch our show?
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do it because this is all new to us, to you guys, but I'm going to be giving away, if you guys go to my website, so that's CamarilloPacific.com. I don't think I can post that, but I will give away.
I have it in the description.
Any of the products that I make that are 3D printed, I will be giving a giveaway to one person that we figure out how to select. So we'll see how that goes in the next little bit, but we'll make that happen. So one person will be able to get anything that I make that's 3D printed for free. I'll include shipping and I'll send it to you. Yeah.
All right. So we appreciate
nice.
and thank you for doing that for our viewers,
of course,
who are watching. And so can you show us some of your product?
Sure. So, I mean, we can start off with the stuff that's already done with the models. So this one's of course, the little beer can guy.
Oh,
So
I love that.
yeah, this is I love these guys.
Nice.
So here's the original coupler. Let me see if I can actually. Let me switch cameras and see if this
See if I
works.
can.
Here we go. All right. So let me just move my keyboard and stuff out of the way. All right. So this is the original coupler setup. There we go. Get some lights in here. Okay. So here's the original coupler setup. And so, of course, it has it's truck mounted. So if you were to back up, this would buckle. And it does make the car a lot more unstable. Now, if we flip the car around, this guy here, if my camera will focus, there we go. Here is my product right here. This is using a Kadee 907. Okay, come on. Anything? Let's see if we can get it up here. There we go. Okay, so this product makes it look actually more prototypical. Of course, we're using black on a not so great surface, but anyway, this has it. So it's actually body mounted. It uses the original pads. I'm just going to show you this. You know, it's great always having a screwdriver on hand. So what happens is these 4 pads here, those are screws, tapped, threaded screw pads, and our product just literally, it's a plug and play, especially for this car. You put the product on, it sits right on, and it is done. You're ready to go.
John is asking you if you could remove the truck on the other side so we could see.
I was just about to do that.
Okay.
John, I got you covered. There we go. So as you can see here, and it's also on my website. So if you go to CamRioPacific.com/CAMPAC BOX, you can see the products, and there's actually some better close-up photos of them. So yeah, so this is the product that uses the original holes, and those are I include those screws in case you have thrown away or got it used. This is that I guess an adapter kit that they give you from USA Trains.
Correct.
So if you've lost that, this is your safe haven. This is your way out instead of trying to use a bunch of plastic stock and build it up and glue it all and all that stuff. So yeah.
And do you have to do any special fitting here, or is it just a bolt and go?
Honestly, for this one, you know, on the truck, the coupler comes off with 1 screw, and that's it. I mean, there's no special, there's no cutting, there's no shimming. It's done.
All right. I mean, that's a plus.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put that guy back real quick while we're, yeah. So yeah, so that's the modern tank car. So this will work with the beer can, so that's the 29-foot, the 42-foot, and the 50. Is it the 50-foot?
55-foot.
55-foot. Thank you.
Yep.
So that'll work with all of them because they literally have the same chassis. It's just longer. That's all.
Now, how about the USA Trains freight cars that don't have those coupler pads?
That's a good question. So here is one that's very dear to me, Anchor Steam, my favorite brewery. And so this was an interesting product that that Ted and I asked Ted to do. And I said, hey, you know, there's a lot of these out there. They've got different runs, they've got different beers, they've got different, you know, they've got the whole Army one. It's just all these things that they have. But for the Woodside Reefer, this is a really cool one. But this one actually uses the original draft gear opening. So you don't have to hack off that whole draft gear right there.
That's nice.
Which is very, very convenient because hacking them off, I've done that. Again, this is before all this has come into fruition, and And this has been a really great thing to learn because we all learn by mistakes. But with this car here, let me take off this truck so you can see it better. So here it's kind of like a modified 907 907, but the coupler box is kind of short, but it still has the post extending over. Now in that kit, it does include a template that actually comes over that draft gear opening. So let's say that just clicks right over this opening. And so you don't have to, you can actually score this with an X-Acto knife, and you can file out that opening. So all you have to do is enlarge the opening with a set of small files. You can even use your conical one. And so you use that to just enlarge the whole opening. And if you have a 256 tap, you can tap these screws. I do think on the instruction guide, you can use other screws to your liking, but we include 256 threaded screws so you can tap it into the body. And so you actually get more bite on the plastic as opposed to using the large Kadee provided screws, which don't give you as much bite into that plastic.
Yeah, I like how they fit into the body like that.
Yeah. So looks like Jonathan asked about what's the cost. Cost is depending on if it's well, we haven't got to locomotives yet, but all the cars are $15 as a pair. It does not come with the Kadee couplers. That is through Kadee. I am not an employee or an affiliate of Kadee, just to let you know. I am not paid by them or anything like that. So yeah, they're $15 for the rolling stock. Again, go to CamarilloPacific.com/CAMPAC BOX, and you can check that out. And I love you, Garrett, for saying Anchor is the king beer, because it is the king beer, oldest craft brewery in the United States. Yes, I do ship to Canada. It says to Canadian railroads. I have shipped to France. I have shipped to where have I shipped? Of course, I've shipped to Canada multiple times. Those are our next door neighbors. You guys are cool. We got you. Yeah. So Canada, we've done France, Switzerland, Germany, the UK. Yeah.
Great. Can you use these on aristo-craft 129 scale cars as well?
So we're working on those right now.
Okay.
Our current focus has been the locomotives, various locomotives. Now we have one product that kind of just takes care of most of them for the locomotives, but the cars, unfortunately, there's a lot of revisions on the aristo-craft cars, and so. But the two aristo-craft cars that we do sell products for are the 53-foot Evans car and the 100-ton hopper.
Okay. Canadian railroads must know what your payment options or what are your payment options?
PayPal. You can send me a check if you want, but I've never taken one from. But PayPal, yeah, PayPal, Apple Pay Cash, Venmo. That's fine. It's just me, guys. It's just me. So yeah, for a steam locomotive, the Mikado, the Pacific, the thing is let me tell you what it takes to do this. Ted and I both. Ted has an amazing collection of aristo-craft and USA trains and AML products, but we don't have everything, and it gets very expensive because when we're developing on a locomotive, we have to make sure, because there may be variances depending on when it was made, 2008, 2012, 2001, there may be subtle changes, and we need to make sure that we address all of those changes to make sure it works for everybody. So with aristo-craft, we have to obtain unmodified models, and it gets expensive. So when you're trying to obtain, a Mikado or a Pacific, we're talking $300 just for the locomotive, just to test on. So, and then we have to buy 2 or 3 of them. But you know, we're slowly trying to get them. You know, some people have even I've had someone literally send me a locomotive so we can development test on it. And then we sent it back with them as a thank you for us developing on it. And with the coupler boxes already on it, ready to go.
Wow.
So, but it, you know, that takes a relationship and a friendship to work on that, because, you know, it makes us nervous working on someone else's model, and it's a scary thing. So we try to buy it ourselves. I'm not made of money, and we're you know, just trying to work as we go and see what the demand is.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody wants to know if there's any mounts for aristo-craft FA1 and B units.
Good question. We don't yet. You know, I wonder if Ted is watching this right now, and if he is, he's
I
probably
imagine
taking
those
notes.
kind of fall into the.
I think.
I say those probably fall into the same realm as like the Pacifics, because I know, depending on when they were made, the FA, FB, and the Pacifics can ride a little bit higher or a little bit lower.
Yeah, the very early runs of the FAs rode very high, and then aristo-craft did some revisions and they lowered the bodies on them.
And so that's the thing that makes it hard for us to find a product, you know, to make a product for it, because there's so much of a variance. We have to be careful, because I want to make sure that what I don't want to do is sell you something that's not going to work for you, you know, and that's the last thing I want to do. So, you know, for instance, what we have done, which is a current product that we have made, but it is a limited offer, and unless we see things pick up. But we are currently selling a U25B kit for the aristo-craft U25B, which actually lowers the model, I believe, by 1/4 of an inch. And it makes it to the correct ride height, gets rid of this eccentric offset swivel, and we actually provide a lowering plate to get rid of that eccentric, to use the original aristo-craft trucks, and again, lowers it to the correct ride height and uses our products. So this is currently a limited run. What?
I was going to say, I might have one of those kits here somewhere.
Yes, you do have one of those. You're one of the few that have taken one, but I know due to all of our lives, we are busy. So I'm still going to badger you for that. So
That's funny. And it looks like you've got quite a few options available to people. Do you want to talk about the locomotive couple plates or boxes?
Yeah, so I have only 2 here, because I don't live at my garden railroad. My garden railroad is at my parents' house. They are the landowners, I guess they would say. I am the operator of the railroad. So here is a GP9, which this is, again, I had to buy a few of these. So as you can see, there's just missing parts on it. This is, again, going to be used for another project. So this was not used for development, but we had to get, actually, I think we got Ted 2 GP9s, at least 1 or 2, and then I gave him a few for me to test on. But so as you can see here, here's the original large offset coupler. Let's see if I can give you some light there. That's too much. So the large offset coupler and this pretty ugly opening, you know, just this gaping hole. And this is without the coupler on it. Let's see if I can get that back in here. So this is the coupler box. So it's cut in. It's got a fairing here. Let me see if I can flip that over. Let's do this. Here we go. So on this box, which I should have. Okay, here we go. So here, if we take this guy out, this is a, again, this is a GP9. And you cut out this opening here using a razor saw and a few files. And hopefully you have a micrometer. They're really cheap on Amazon. I think this guy here I got for, gosh, maybe, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 bucks. The greatest thing ever. It's digital too.
Yeah, even
And
if
we
you
use
have
that.
like a Harbor Freight nearby, they sell a fairly cheap set of calipers too.
Yeah. And so let's see here. I'm going to grab a kit here. So the locomotive has well, let's show you the kit here. So here's a kit that you would get. So you get the pedestal, 2 pedestals, of course, 1 for each end, coupler boxes, the screws, and let's just take this off. I don't need this anymore. And 2 plugs. Now this plug covers up this really ugly opening and makes it closed.
Nice.
So that was a big win for us to get rid of that opening, and that was Ted's touch on originally when the whole conversation started with the GP38-2, and so we applied that to everything that we've been producing. So let's see here. Yeah. So you cut out this opening. So that's just a little bit of modification you have to make. And the coupler box goes nice and perfect into here. There we go. Is that a better light? Or is that too much light?
No, you're good.
Okay. So the coupler box goes in. Let me just got a screw. Of course, there would be a coupler on this. So a Kadee 907 again. All right. And then, of course, the plug, which you would then paint yourself. Yeah. I'm wondering what John is saying here. Question: body mounting is to this unit.
It doesn't show the whole thing, but he's asking question. Body mounting to this unit, which is what you have there, is the pedestal actually can break if handling longer trains? Do you recommend putting something in between the pedestal and the units?
Between the pedestal?
I wonder if he means like between the back side of the pilot face and the pedestal.
Oh, like on the walkway face?
Yes.
I haven't seen them. I've seen them break off. That's when they're pretty old and brittle. But I mean, this is. I've got some first gen GP9s that don't have that issue. But it's a good question. You probably could. It depends on how you want to modify your model. There are ways of seating that down, but that would be just more of a kind of like a doctor move to the model.
Okay.
It's not of course ideal. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, were you talking on top of the walkway, Colin? I think what John was asking was like between the back side of the pilot and the pedestal that you make, like the factory when you have a little bit of a gap in between the two. You know what I mean?
Right here. So you're talking about the gap between the pedestal here and. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, he had one break with the GP38. Interesting.
John's saying yes. That's it. Yes. Where are you pointed to?
The pedestal actually can break off if handling on trains. The thing about that pedestal, so you're actually using. So this pedestal is a lot thicker than the original pedestal.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would love to circle back with you, John. On my website, there is my email. It's Colin at CamarillOPacific.com. shoot me an email with some photos. I'd be curious to see what you're talking about. I'd love to circle back with you on a later time so we can dive into that.
I was just going to
If
say
that's
real quick,
cool
I
with
think
you.
what he's talking about is
Sure, great. I love
is
this.
like, right down in between, the back side of face of this and the original pocket, I think is what he means. But I'm sure John will reach out to you though about that.
Yeah.
And apologies, everybody. I'm still new at this live thing.
Yeah, so John, I would love to see a photo, if you have a photo of what you're talking about. That would really be helpful, so I can kind of. I'd love to look at what you're.
John said what Andrew just described is that's it. So apparently,
so the actual body mount screws that actually the two screws that go into that threading and those cylinders have broken off. I'm assuming that's correct, John.
Yeah.
What I've done in the past is I've glued it in, but I don't know if that's a recommended idea. I've literally just put the pedestals in and glued in actually, I did it on my 38. Fun fact. So I have here's a basket case GP38 that I got from a friend. This thing has seen better days. Yes, it's Union Pacific, regretfully. As you can see, the paint is coming off. But the pedestal, let's see here. My pedestal, yes, this has ditch lights, has come, the screws I think came out. So what I did is I think I just glued it into place. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, on the back one I actually glued it in place, but I just used CA glue on the back and it hasn't moved. So it won't move again. So you can't revert it if you want to revert it back to any other type of Kadee coupler.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the latest, what we're talking about is, I know Mr. Fitch is very excited about this, and actually Bruce Morrow got 3 of them because he's all jazzed about the 44 tonner. So this is again, I had to get 3. Just again to tell you guys how this works, I had to get 3 44 tonners just to make sure that we got this right. Okay. So again, this is not, making coupler boxes, and we want to make sure that they're right for you and for every model that we get. So this one actually I think was an undecorated model, and I got it from a friend who actually painted it Southern Pacific. This thing was actually unfortunately neglected under a tree that fell. It was in a roundhouse, and it fell on it and was sitting there for probably about 5 years out in the elements. So I actually took this thing and recouped it a little bit. The paint still needs some work, but anyway, aside from that, the 44 ton, this was a really fun project because people kept asking for me about it up until we were starting to develop it. And it was just really interesting that people were like, hey, I'm looking for something like this. And I just said, yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. And then as we were doing it, I said, all right, let's give it a go. Let's give the 44 tonner a try. And then as I was doing that, I got so many calls about the 44 tonner. So this one, which is unique, Ted, again, my partner, my really good friend of mine who has been part of this endeavor, he really came up with a really cool design here. So on this guy here, this actually uses, you remove the original screws that hold the chassis or the frame to the body, and the coupler box still comes off of this I guess you'd say pedestal and sort of plug. It just kind of makes it look more ornate. But the original screws you take out, and then we provide the actual longer screws it's a dual function. So the screws that use for the chassis or for the shell are used to hold down the coupler box. And what's great, It doesn't show it here.
I like that you put the time and the thought into, putting a little bit longer screws in there. A lot of people wouldn't think about, when you're putting a little bit extra material between there, that you're not going to have the same bite anymore.
Of course. Now you lose all that bite because they didn't do, they only did it for what it had to be used for the shell, right? And so on this one, you can see that the tang was cut off for the truck mounted coupler. That was just from original, but it normally has a tang here for truck mounted couplers. Well, this product allows you to keep that tang and don't have to cut that off in case you want to revert it back to its original state of a truck mounted coupler. So, and then,
so somebody putting it on then doesn't have to actually cut the tang off then if they're worried about that.
Correct.
Very nice.
And again, the only thing you have to do is just make the cutout, and that's it.
Yeah, that does make it nice because you can, revert it back if somebody wants to do it the other way around. And, on another note, it's hard for me to believe that USA Trains only made one run of these things, and that was it.
Yeah. Was that it, Sean? Just one run?
That was it. That's all they did in the very beginning. They didn't make many of these. And I think it would have been a very popular locomotive if they would have reproduced it or reintroduced it like 2 or 3 years ago again. But so far, they only made one run back a long time ago.
Yes, I know, Bruce, you have 3 because you bought 3 of these parts, these coupler kits. He bought one, and I guess he loved it, so he called me up and said, "Hey, I need 2 more."
Yeah, the 44 tonner would be a very, very popular locomotive if U.S. Trains actually came back out with it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they haven't. They only did that one run, but I think they're losing a lot on the market because I know people have smaller railroads and they love those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I never really desired to own one, and I happened to come into possession of one a while back, and I really can't bring myself to part with it now.
Yeah.
It's a fun little locomotive to play with, especially switching.
Yeah, and they're a lot more compact than the NW2 and the S4.
Yeah. So for now, we pretty much have a product for almost every USA Trains diesel electric locomotive that they make. So 44 tonner, NW2, S4, F3, PAPB, GP9, 7.9, GP30, 38-2, SD40-2, and SD70. We make a product for all of those.
Now the SD40-2 that you make, what kind of curves can that go around with the body mount couplers on it like that?
With every one, I think it has been tested with the 8 foot. I think our minimum is 8 foot. But let me just see here. So 8 to 10 foot. Of course, you want bigger. If you're running this kind of big of an engine, you're going to want a bigger curves.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the thing is, these things rip these other cars off the tracks.
Yeah. With the SD40-2, you should really be running that on 10. I know USA Trains recommends 8 foot, but I don't. That should be on a 10 foot diameter track.
I've had mine on 8 foot before, and they just don't look right.
Yeah,
I see John was asking if you could show the setup for the PAs.
John, I don't own any PAs, and I don't have any here. But on our website, you can see the photos of the PAs. And Ted has the PAs. So I didn't. That was an expense that I couldn't do. But we did the initial testing on, I think, 2 PAs that he had. He got a PA and PB, and then we sent out some development models to some friends, and they finalized the product. So, yeah.
Great. That's all good stuff, and it sounds like you're developing other products for the future.
Oh yeah, we're always making something new, trying to help the hobby. Turning these models into models, not just toys that go around small curves. And again, nothing wrong with small curves. Everybody has their environment. They may have a small backyard. That's good for them. For people that like to do operations and that have a little more room, like myself, I've got like a 25-foot 5-track yard in the back. And it's great to be able to switch trains out. It's so much fun. But yeah.
I like switching operations myself. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
And so I think you have another little surprise for us, sort of along the lines that starts with an A and ends with an L.
Oh yeah. So speaking of future products, let's talk about that. So let's dive right into it. So let's talk about AML. Now, like I said, I've done some products for their rolling stock. So the AML Bethgon, the PS 4750, as well as the High Cube, are all products that we make direct fit coupler boxes for AML. And they are actually across the bay from us. So I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and they are right across the bridge. And so I've been talking with them, and just so everybody knows, the GP60 is happening, 100% happening. So anybody that has doubts about the GP60, it's happening. Now, next week, I actually will be getting my hands on a GP60, a pre-production model. So that means it's already been made.
Ooh, there you
go. Now, I have been given authorization by AML to share my screen. And waiting on the boys to switch me over.
So we can get that up there. Let's see. There we go.
This is the pre-production model, Norfolk Southern, excuse me. I'm not an East Coast guy, so excuse me. I didn't mean to say it wrong. Could you guys correct me for how I was supposed to say it? Just NS.
NS, Norfolk Southern.
All right. So they wanted to let me know, or let everybody know, that for these photos, you see here, this silver truck is not going to be silver. It is going to be, this is pre-production model. So do not worry if everybody's freaking out about the color being wrong on the truck. It's not going to be that color. Anyway, so this is the GP60. And let's just scroll over to, that is a better look up of it. This thing looks incredible. I cannot wait to see it. So again, I'm going to be seeing it next week. So I am super jazzed to see it. We have been in talk.
That has some really nice fine detail on it.
Yeah, it is incredible. AML always goes the extra mile. It's like, the Dash 9 that aristo-craft made, just so great with the detail, right? All those metal parts, really good. And I think these guys are again, until I see it, but so far it looks really, really good. AML always hits it on that, museum quality, Yeah. So let's step over. Here's the back end.
There you go.
And and then let's see if we can, what's this last photo here? That's just more of a close-up of some other parts. Again, this is a pre-production model. This is not the final with paint and all that stuff. This is just one of their one-offs. So right now it is currently, I cannot answer any questions about electronics. So the electronics are being currently worked on as we speak. After that, I will be having a look at it. So we are not, we're just in talks with AML. Nothing has been set in stone. I'll just go back to that great photo right there. So y'all can see it for just a little bit longer. Um, we're in talks about CAMPAC BOX making a product for them, or seeing if we need to make a product for them. And roller bearing ends roll. No idea. Again, I haven't seen it. So I know they said it's going to be ball bearing, but we'll see what it says.
Oh, roller bearing caps is what he means, I guess.
We'll see. Again, this is pre-production, so we'll go from there. But we'll see if we are going to be making a product for them. They're just allowing us to kind of get in a little early and see if we can help them out with Kadee adaptations. Who knows if we might just help them come up with a product for it. I don't know. Again, it's all up in the air. AML has been extremely nice and very nice to have us aboard, no pun intended, to kind of just have a look at it, see if we can give them our 2 cents. Ted and I are really excited. Yes, Boyd, I cannot wait for the SP rendition. I think all of the manufacturers should continue to making SP. Yes. Oh, what's over here? SP. But yeah, this is, I think, going to be a really, really awesome product. I really do. So next week I will be seeing it. So it's real. It's happening. It's not a myth. Okay.
And I forgot how long ago they really first introduced this. It's been quite some time, and then it sort of like disappeared for a while, and now we're finally really seeing this.
Well, it's a great thing to see right now because with our hobby, that's why you guys are doing this live stream to keep our hobby going.
Yeah.
It's great to see AML doing something like this for the 129 people in G scale. It's such a good feeling that they're doing this, and I get to see it next week. So I can tell you that I am super jazzed. I'm going to get 1, if not 2, of course, in SP. Because what else would I have?
I think they would do well if they also would rethink coming out with the SD9 like they were originally thinking as well.
I mean, to say to say that takes a lot. Look, geez, even for us to even make a coupler box, it takes a lot of money, and we're not even making molds.
Yeah.
We're 3D printing these things. These guys are doing mold making, and they're making it all, every single little part. It's incredible what they have to do. So who knows what the amount of expense it takes to make this in 2020. Right now it's a pretty expensive endeavor. So
yeah.
The cost alone, of course, we'd all love to just be like, boom, boom, bop, it's ready to go. But yeah. I would love to see an SD9, but who knows? We'll see what they're going to come out with next. But we'll see how if our G scale community is receptive to this model. If people buy it, then that may drive them to either continue making it as well as making something different. If they filled that gap that is missing, that we know we're not supposed to talk about, but that gap that is missing from that one manufacturer that's gone, this would be a great answer to help AML keep going when making products.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, everything that AML comes out with, it seems to sell.
I think the biggest thing is, people want to see AML or any other manufacturer make stuff. I guess we got to support what they're making. I think it's a pretty nice looking model. Obviously, it's not going to come in Conrail, but I think I could find something that would fit my taste.
Yeah, for those who just got here, here's I'm going to go back to the 4 photos that I've been given by AML. So here's just another. Jens is on. What's up? So I'm just going to go back on these photos real quick. So here's the front, the cab nose. And of course, we don't have any photos of the safety cab model yet, which I know they're making that the GP60, what was it, M?
Yeah, GP60M.
Yeah. Here's the rear.
Forgive me if you mentioned it already, Colin. But the trucks on this are going to be silver on the final one, or black? Or
no, they're not going to be silver for this particular paint scheme. They're going to be, I believe they're going to be black like they're supposed to be, or the original model. They just said that these are just pre-production, photos of them. So, yeah.
Great. That's nice. That's a nice looking locomotive.
I agree. It's a phenomenal looking engine. So again, this is a pre-production, so things may change. Things may change, but for now, this is what it is.
I think they did a good job on the high Q box car too. I mean that came out.
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
and they're coming back out with it. They're rerunning it.
Well, that's because they sold out of them.
Well, yeah, because everybody's like, we need something different, and
Yeah, exactly, and that's unfortunately what drove me away is seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And this is like really exciting, so it should excite the large scale community to see these different new things actually coming back out again. So I guess it's going to put new life into the large scale, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
To stay loaded,
To see
I'll say that
stay loaded here. Yeah.
They haven't made a diesel, right? But they've
Correct.
made a lot of the products that they make are
Steam.
pretty well done.
Yeah.
The steam engines are bar none. They're incredible.
Yep.
And so just to know that level of meticulousness and their detail, I'm going to say yes. But again, I can't wait to see it next week. So in case you just tuned in, I will be seeing this model, the actual pre-production model, next week. So I'm excited to see it. And you might see me on Facebook. I might post something. I don't know if I'll be able to post photos, but I might be able to post my thoughts on it. So I'm really excited. This is a big win for the G-Scale community.
Oh, absolutely.
That's for sure.
At least for the modern guys.
When's the last time we had when's the last time we had a brand new, not made before model of a diesel locomotive in G-Scale?
Ooh, yeah.
That's true.
That's
true.
I mean,
I'm thinking 2011.
I would say that.
When did the GP40 come out?
You know what? Well, I mean, if we look at the, I always say their name wrong. The Pico, their little switcher that they made. I guess that's new to us.
Oh, the
A lot of people
25-ton.
may not think. Yeah, they may not think about it. 'Cause it's not a large, road diesel, so to speak. But
yeah,
I do commend Pico for making something new and different. But as far as something mainline specific, this is the first thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And Canadian Railroads is asking, would it be difficult to add spacers to the SD40-2 mount? I'm using SD70 motor blocks on mine.
Are we talking about spacers in regards to, we're talking about the coupler boxes, or are we talking?
I think he's talking about the boxes because he's running the SD70 motor blocks, which have larger diameter wheels on them, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to ride higher.
Yes, correct.
I think I had somebody purchase some. You know what I can't remember what he did. I think he had SD40-2s and he used a different motor block for them, and the ride height did not change.
Oh.
But again, it might be difficult. I don't know. So you'd have to. It's going to be a measurement. Canadian Railroads. You're going to have to measure it, check it out, and see what you can. You're going to just have to raise it up. I mean, what I've used is like for the GP38-2, we use a 90 thousandths, I guess, Lexan spacer. This is for the GP38-2 because it rides too low. So we raise it by 90 thousandths of an inch to actually be the correct ride height. Yeah. Okay. So again, I don't make a product for any of the modified models, but that would be, if you're already going into that far into modifying the model, I think you'll be good enough to use some Lexan or something like that to mitigate the difference.
Great.
Here's the.
Let me
Go
bring
ahead.
that back up.
Here's the AML. Sorry, this is the. Not speaking of AML. This is the. I didn't have any photos ready, but this is the aristo-craft 53-foot Evans with my product on there.
Oh, that's
a direct
I
fit.
like that.
No cutting involved. I know this car goes on eBay for like $500 now, which is ridiculous.
$500.
I've seen it get pretty high. And it's kind of got that look that it's supposed to have on a real coupler.
So do you have to tap any holes into the underside of it then to mount the box, or is there existing?
You can actually use
you can use the existing 907 screws if you wanted. The Kadee ones. That's what I used. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see if there's a. Yeah. See, these are. This is it. So literally, there's no modification of the car whatsoever.
Nice.
Yeah. And then here's the 100-ton hopper, Aristo. And this is using the Aristo barbers, but also will work with the Kadee barber trucks, the 70-ton and the 100-ton wheel, the truck set.
Now, do you have the last picture you're on there? Is there actually like a clip that comes up over the front there?
Yeah, so that one's a very interesting one because how it's designed is where you actually screw the coupler box to. It's actually not tied into the end part of the car, and so it will actually sag under the end of the car, which is I don't know why that was a thing, but let me grab that for you so you guys can see this.
Because the 100-ton Aristo hoppers didn't actually have a body mount option on them, did they?
Correct. So here is this little J clip.
Let me zoom that up there.
Oh, actually, I'll go to my other camera.
Oh, okay.
Actually, this is probably okay. So this guy hooks right on that edge, and so it prevents it from dipping down because the screw holes are right, here and here, and so this prevents it from sagging down.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
This is the engineering genius of my good friend Ted Descaris. So again, I want to make sure that people know that he is the good friend and also just a brilliant mind. So I can't thank him anymore for what we do together as a partnership.
I think I've seen some videos from him. Is it like Greg USA? I think is.
Yeah,
YouTube channel he's on?
Greg E USA. Yeah.
Greg E USA. Okay.
I think that's what it is. So you can see this prevents it from dipping. And that shows the clip there. Of course, this one includes 256 tapped screws, so you'd actually have to tap if you'd like. I suggest you doing it. Get a 256 tap. You can get it on McMaster Car for like $5. And you can tap the areas. But yeah, there's Ted and I.
Okay.
Ted is the brains, and I guess I'm the person that he basically creates these products, and then I digitize them and I make them into 3D models, and then I 3D print them and I do all the rest of the work.
Kind of looks like a nice vacation destination to me there.
That was at a bagger's swap meet, and I was showing off our product.
Wow.
As you can see, there's an AML high cube back there in SP.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of the products we sell.
Very nice. Now you have some stuff that you're still kind of developing. Now, like I know you're doing like a GP9B conversion you were working on at one time, or you're still working on that?
GP9B conversion. It's taken a sideline because the 44 tonner had just a lot of, the GP9B is not going to be we're going to try and make it as plug and play as possible, but there's still going to be, you have to paint it. It's not for the beginning modeler. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to have it already painted with the road numbers and all that stuff. So, and only a few railroads had GP9Bs.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of taken a sideline because the 44 tonner kind of came through, and then the USA Trains heavyweights came through. So we got our hands on a few of those. Ted bought a few of those, and
Oh, that's
we
right. Yeah, you
produced
did.
products for
I
that.
forgot you did the heavyweights for the USA. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah. So we did actually a lot. So we did in that time we've done the Bethcon, the AML Bethcon, the PS 4750, the heavyweight passenger, and the 44 tonner, and maybe the S4. So I think 5 products took over the GP9B product. So we've kind of sidelining that one. We're currently developing the heavyweight passenger car. Kind of has the same mechanism as the extruded aluminum passenger car that USA makes.
Okay.
We're doing some testing on it, and we want to make sure that we got it dialed in before we say yes, it's it. We're trying to see if they actually are the same or not. So, yeah. All right. See you later, Garrett. Take care, man. This guy's a pilot, and he loves trains. So apparently, pilots and trains are they love each other. So
That's cool.
yeah, he's pretty cool.
Hey, one of my favorite
good friend
one of my
of mine.
favorite
He's a
movies
good
has
neighbor.
planes and trains in it, and automobiles, and John Candy.
By the way, Garrett's got some really cool looking trains. He's got a beautiful GP30 that he custom did some lights on the whole the nose package, like the SP nose package that they did on the GP30, the low nose. Oh, he dialed it in. It looks so great. So he's got a really good looking one. It's got an ESU sound system. You know, the whole works with the air wire. It's all battery powered.
Wow.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, he's done some really good work. But yeah. We've also made some very sideline things at that same time. The aristo-craft ball bearing motor block spacer. So you can take a locomotive from Aristo-Craft that was never had the ball bearing wheels or the motor truck or motor block, and we printed a spacer that allows you to adapt to it to the newer style.
Is that something that's on your website? I don't recall seeing that before.
It is on the bottom of our website. There's miscellaneous items.
Because that's actually something I was wondering about not too long ago. Because I have a couple with the old blocks on them.
It's not going to be that big, but it'll just be showing you my screen. So it's basically this little guy right here. And because there's the ears, the original one doesn't have the ears, right?
Yeah.
And this one has the ears. So this allows it something, because what this uses is it uses the axles to attach to, right? And CamarilloPacific.com. I don't know if can I type into this? I think you can.
Yeah, I probably didn't set it up.
For some reason, when I was on the chat, you can't put a website on.
Right. Did you put it in the description, Andrew, of the live?
I believe I put it in the description. Your website.
Yes, on the YouTube page.
Yeah.
But anyway,
check, but I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I'm looking as well. Yeah, it looks like it's in there.
CamarilloPacific.com. I got your Facebook, Instagram, and of course your YouTube in there.
Hey, John, on the YouTube, on the actual YouTube page, just click the show more button at the bottom of the description, and it'll open up, and there's all kinds of links in there. You get and his website and Facebook and Instagram. It's all in there.
So this is the spacer to adapt the original U25B motor block, or you could use it for any others, but this will allow you to adapt to the newer ball bearing motor blocks, which have been reproduced by Bachmann. So those will work. You will have to do some wiring and stuff like that, but yeah, so this allows you to adapt it to use the existing A-frame, and yeah, there's a little bit of drilling and tapping, but I include the screws that you need. You'll just have to drill and tap. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, large scale isn't always for the faint at heart, though, either, I guess. I mean, there's always a little bit of modifying we have to do to make things do what we want them to do.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to cut tunnels into your walls to run your trains through, right, Sean?
If you want to run them inside.
So here's one of the things I just want to show is if
yep.
I just my screen share back up, but so here's some of the products from these are customer photos. So this one's from Brian McMahon, who I want to give a shout out to. Brian has been a vital part to our progress. He has been almost from the beginning of our first product, which was the GP 38, I think. And he is in Southern California, and he's an incredible modeler, and he does really good paint work too. And he has even taken the time to, if I found a development model engine that I needed for us to make a product for, he has actually driven out in the LA area to go pick it up in person, pay cash for the model, because sometimes these people wouldn't ship it, and then he would pack it, let me borrow his box with all the the foam insert and whatnot, and ship it to me, and then I'd ship it, him back his empty box, of course, with some of my products. But he has been absolutely, he doesn't ask for a thank you, he doesn't do that, but he is just the nicest guy we think we've met, and he goes above and beyond for us, so we really appreciate him. So thank you, Brian, for everything you've done for CAMPAC BOX. But this is one of his beautiful locomotives, or his ABA set, and that's how his coupler boxes look.
Wow.
See how close it is.
That's nice.
That's really, and it brings the locomotives in, so they're not really far out, and the diaphragms are like 10 feet apart. So it really makes them. I mean, look at that. Can you believe that? I mean, look at the coupler box. It looks prototypical. It doesn't look like a toy.
Yeah, I like the airlines that he put on them too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, are those the factory airlines that come on those? Because the ones from the factory are kind of a shiny black,
Right
straight
here?
molded plastic. Yeah.
I think those are the originals.
Well,
yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I noticed on the picture before he had air hoses. Looked like he added air hoses, like rubber ones.
That is probably these MU connectors he's added right here. These are for power.
Okay.
If we go back to the first photo, that's power.
Okay.
Yeah, those are power. These guys.
All right.
Yeah. So this is thanks to Brian. He sends his photos in. So I mean, what's great is you really, all we have to do is cut just a little bit into this pilot here.
Yeah.
Just a small notch, and look how much better it looks.
Yeah.
And you get to use the actual enclosure, and you don't get this ugly large offset coupler box. Again, going back into more detail, you can't mess with that. That is just so good.
Yeah.
It always did puzzle me a little bit.
And then
USA always had. So I know you were real big into the USA stuff, Sean, and their factory knuckle couplers do ride lower than everybody else's by a little bit, don't they?
Yeah. And
yeah,
the USA trains, remember, those F3s were meant to be used either as passenger or freight locomotives. So when the F3 was really used as a passenger locomotive, the coupler had to be tied off.
Yep.
Okay.
So
yeah, they would close up the opening.
Yes.
Yeah. It depends on the road, though.
Right.
Now, do you offer any type of 3D printed pilot for the F3, Colin, to replicate that?
Oh gosh, that was one of my first projects that that has been since sidelined for a while now. I'm trying to come up with a direct fit to remove that pilot, which everybody always has a broken one, and USA doesn't have any replacements anymore. So to actually have a direct fit replacement, which actually has a plow. Kenny, it's for 8-foot diameter curves, by the way. But anyway, so we are going to, it's been sidelined. Other things have taken precedence, but I definitely want to make a pilot that actually has a plow embedded into it.
Oh,
I've taken lots of photos of real F units and see how they look. I don't have the photos of it right now, but definitely want to get on that. it would be a really good piece to just literally you take off the broken one that you, normally all of them have because life, and USA doesn't have anymore. Sorry to make a jab at USA, but we need it.
Yeah,
We need those
supply
parts.
and demand, you know.
Yeah.
Supply and demand, and making a product that actually fits directly into that space, because there's some molding that it actually is a part of. So and it actually holds up part of the locomotive too. So it's a very intricate piece, but we want to make it so that you can have a CAMPAC box or it's integrated in it. So it's a whole thing. We're going to work on that. So that has been a long-term project of mine that I definitely want to get back into. Yeah, here's the Woodside reefer from Brian. That's, again, this is using USA metal wheels, not plastic wheels, metal wheels, and you get the perfect ride height. And this is from Mike Bush, his Mount Vernon Terminal Railway NW2. Let's see here. Yeah, they're definitely breakables. I agree. So here's a customer photo from Mike Bush. Again, his paint work is great, and his detail work, but that's our product on there. And here's the back end of that.
Wow, that's nice.
Again, it just makes it look, and you can see the pilot plug. This covers up that opening, that kind of that handlebar mustache kind of opening that just looks ugly on these models. It really turns it from a toy to an actual locomotive.
Yeah, I remember asking you about that before you started making them, because that was the thing that drove me crazy the most with that NW2 was just that faux pocket, you know?
Yeah.
And I have half of one.
Oh, actually, yeah, you get rid of that faux pocket. That's the thing. So here's another Mike Bush. This is a 38, GP38. And this is his paint work again. Did a really good job, but you can see it's raised up 90 thousandths of an inch, and it looks just great. So thank you, Mike. Mike has also has been an early adopter for our product and really fell in love with it and has done some incredible work. Let's see here.
Oh,
Scott McKentley.
I was liking that wire houser box car behind that.
Yeah, I know. It's a pretty one,
Yeah.
right? So this is one that has not been painted yet, but Scott wanted to show me that it fit and just looked so good. And he actually did the lines. He did paint the lines on the plug, and it looks really good. Just how he added those.
See, I was wondering about that because I've got that same engine here, and I was trying to debate about if I could paint those lines or not.
Oh, dude, just some blue tape, mark it off. You're good, dude.
Very nice.
And then, of course, going back to the man himself, Mr. McMahon, with his Union Pacifics. This is his GP30 with our product on there. His GP9 with our product on there. Again, beautiful work that he's done. Those are both of his in his workshop, the 9 and the GP7/9. Again, really good work. And then here's his modern tank car. It looks like this is a beer can car, 29 foot, and just gives it that better look.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's some of the photos I've got there.
Great. Those are some nice pictures. People have some really nice garden railroads out there. I mean, I was really enjoying the photos.
Yeah, and
well, speaking of garden railroads, I want to show you some photos, some more photos with you of nice garden railroads. This is Don Waters' Garden Railroad. I was asked to be the guest photographer for Garden Railways magazine for that feature railroad. I think it was 2017, the issue, and I really think that this should have been the cover photo. This would have been, I think, the best photo but his garden railroad is so detailed.
I like the selective focus on that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's another one of his. Again, his garden railroad is phenomenal. So hopefully
That's outside?
when life returns. Oh yeah, that's outside.
Wow.
And let's see here. That's another one I took of his garden railroad.
Nice.
I mean, can you think that's a garden railroad? Like, come on, that looks. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sean.
Oh no, I was just enjoying the pictures you were showing.
Those are some of the photos that I took, and again, that one, the first one I took, should have been the actual. I think should have been the cover, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Jen's Bang is asking how much are those couplers?
They're the boxes. So I don't sell the couplers because I'm not a Kadee sales. I don't have a resale license or anything like that, and I'm not an employee or affiliated with Kadee. But so you have to buy the coupler boxes on their own. The coupler boxes range from $15 to $32 for the locomotives, or 30 to 32. The 32 is for the GP38, but
You include a spacer with the GP38, right?
And the U25B, since it's a limited run, those are 40 because we had to outsource some 3D printed spacers. Thank you to Eric Reuter. Appreciate you, Eric. He was contracted to use the filament style printer to get some really nice flat spacers. So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So,
yeah,
how did you as we've been doing this live show, have you thought about how you wanted to do this the giveaway for our viewers?
Oh man.
And and I appreciate everybody who's currently watching our live show.
Yeah, everybody's tuned in. Thank you.
Yeah, and we're trying to support the large scale community. You know, the disappearance of Garden Railways magazine. We want to try and keep as much spotlight as we can. So we felt as though this was one of the best ways of doing it with our live show. So we're really appreciative that you guys are watching. So Colin offered to have one giveaway. So he's just got to try and figure out how he's going to do this.
I got to figure this out. I mean, thank you, Nico. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works. I know there's like apps for that.
Yeah, it wasn't something I came into really prepared for a giveaway.
Yeah, it was the last
I didn't put any
thing.
thought
So
into it.
Here's what I'll do. What should we do? Should we? Oh, we just got another like. That's nice. Well, I think you should both be subscribed to MrPictovid and Datum Productions. That'd be first. So I'd make sure you guys all subscribe to them. Again, these guys are. I want to thank you two for having me on here. I know it's not the end of the show, but I just want to thank you guys for having me a part of the first, I guess, guest for your live stream. I'm going to be watching this every other time. If you ever have me again, I'll be happy to be aboard.
Well, you made an impression on me, with the few dealings I had with you before. I mean, I bought several the CAMPAC boxes off of you, and you went as far as you want to have a conversation with me, everything beforehand to explain, the modifications and make sure I was comfortable with it. I mean, you put a lot of effort into making a quality product and making sure people understand what it is. So, and
I'm not here to sell something just to make money here, guys. Like, I want to make sure you have a product that works for you. And of course, if you use a Dremel, I'm not going to sell you the product. If you're going to use a Dremel on your $400, $500 locomotive, you're going to go slow. You're going to use hand tools like a razor saw and stuff like that. Then I will sell you my product because I don't want to give you the wrong thing that you're not comfortable doing. So yeah, I'd like to screen customers, and I'd like to add that personal touch to it because I know in today's age, I know I'm I'm 32, and I should be saying that I'm always on my phone, but I like to be old school about it and have a conversation with somebody, call you, get to know you, make sure this is the right thing to do and for you. And then, if there's any problems, you can always reach out to me. I want to be a resource to people. So, yeah.
That's how Sean and I
going
feel
back
about
to,
the hobby, though. I mean,
yeah, I mean, we're in this day and age with all this technology, we're losing out, but I think we're missing that human connection, and if we keep that human connection alive,
Yes.
we will thrive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's where the live shows are going to help with that.
Yeah. But going back to, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we pick up if someone, I don't know, is there commenting on this? Looks like there's not.
Is there what?
Why don't we do this? I'm trying to figure out a way of figuring out how to give this prize. Again, just to reiterate, I'm going to be giving away one of anything that I currently offer that is 3D printed. So the CNC milled coupler boxes that I make, those are not a part of this, but anything that I 3D print, I'll be giving away of your choice of all that I have to offer. So go to CamarilloPacific.com/CAMPAC BOX, and you can see what I have to offer. I don't know. I think I don't know. What do you guys think we should do? Should we have someone comment on Facebook, and we'll just find a random name on there? And how about this? If everybody comments on the live stream on Facebook, whoever has the Facebook group, is there commenting on there? Is there a discussion? Let's see.
We're only live streaming on YouTube. I mean, we have the event on Facebook.
If you go to the event on Facebook, if whoever's on Facebook that can write on there, I think we should pick there. What do you guys think about that?
Okay. All right. So.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I know. I'm 32. Yes.
So any of our viewers who would like to get this free coupler box, the first person to go on Facebook and make a comment on the actual event, something that's sort of like
first person.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull up the link, direct link to the event. And I'll throw it in the chat there.
Good. Yeah, do that. So the first person to throw a comment, I would like a CAMPAC box. We'll pick you. How's that sound?
I think that'll work. First person to comment. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
it has to be on the live. So let me know when you have that posted there, Andrew.
That should be popping into the live chat here in a moment, I think.
Okay. So Andrew's going to put, there it is. All right. So you guys click on that link there that MrPictovid just put. Click on that link. The first person to make a comment, CAMPAC
on the discussion, I think.
On the live, the live show event, we'll get the giveaway.
See if it works. Anyway.
Just making sure I had commenting turned on that event, and I do. That'd be bad to tell them to comment on that, and then I got commenting turned off.
All right, so that's how.
I don't know if it should be the first person. I mean, if it's the first person, but why don't we say that we should until what? I don't know. I think we should do till about 7:15 Pacific time. Excuse me. Let's give it about 20 minutes, and then we'll pick someone that because if we don't have any comments, if we have like 10 commenters, we want to give people comments. So let's have some people comment. Let us know what your favorite product is on what I produce, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, I know we're kind of flip-flopping around, but we've never done this because we don't have an automated system to do this. So this is
so this is our
we're learning on the fly.
Yeah, so this is our first time giving something or having somebody give something away on a live stream. So we're trying to feel this out.
All right, looks like John was the first to comment. So Let's see if anybody else gets there, but John, we'll be in contact.
Oh, we got a comment on it already?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
great.
John Simkovich.
Oh yeah, great guy. He's actually.
Yeah, you know him?
Oh yeah, he's part of the Pocono Mountain Garden Railway Society, and he actually goes to the East Coast Large Scale Train Show. Great guy. I mean, you couldn't ask for a friendlier guy than John. So.
Yeah, John's a super nice guy. I always enjoy. Well, I didn't get to see him last year or this year rather at the East Coast show. That kind of didn't quite take off, but hopefully I'll get to see him and all my other friends I usually see at the show here again next year.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the same thing. You know, I really missed that. I missed train shows altogether because here in New Jersey, everything's been shut down train show wise since January. And the Greenberg Edison train show was trying to have one in Edison, New Jersey, but Jersey made them cancel it. So there won't be any train shows in Jersey this year or for the rest of the year.
I was gonna see. Yeah, we don't got much left for this year.
Yeah.
We're about halfway through November
No,
almost.
I see John's comment here. Now it's Cam for short for Camarillo, which is my last name, and then PAC is short for Pacific, Camarillo Pacific. So actually, my railroad is the Camarillo Pacific Railroad, Garden Railroad, and so Ted and I decided we'll just call it the CAMPAC BOX. Kind of keep it short, kind of works well, and what we believe to be the best coupler accessory.
I didn't get to roll any steam with rolls in Lancaster. Yeah, I shot video of John rolling his Reading locomotive over onto its side.
Ooh.
That's terrible, Sean. That you set that up just to get a good shot. I'm just kidding. So you're a member of the club out there where you live at, right, Colin? How long have you been involved with them?
So I am. Oh God, I really was in when I first started garden roading, and then college and all that stuff happened, and school, and but I got back into it. So I would say I started in about 2001 with the Bay Area Garden Railway Society, and then I was actually the youngest district superintendent in the club to actually manage and coordinate our open houses. So we have the largest regional garden railway society in the United States. I think we're actually the largest regional garden railway society, period. The biggest garden railroad club is the LGB club of the world, or whatever it is. They're the biggest club, but the regional club, we're the largest club. So we have different districts. So we've got like the Peninsula District, we've got the East Bay District, the South Bay, North Bay, all this stuff. And so I was one of the district superintendents for my district back in 2000, probably 4. And then got back into it. Actually, we opened for the 2006 National Garden Railway Convention, and then we had like 8 buses come to our home, which was crazy. Oh, wow. 8 buses, charter buses. And then we opened up for the 2016 NGRC. That was a lot of fun. For some reason, the buses couldn't get to our house, even though they have before. Nothing changed. That's a whole long story that our chairman would love to talk about. But anyway, but I am currently, I was asked 2017 to be a part of the board of directors for the Bay Area Garden Railway Society. And I was asked to be president. And so I was the president for the baggers for 2 years.
Wow.
Their purpose for having me as the president is to kind of bring the club into the 21st century. John, our railroad is about 1,000 feet of train track.
It's quite a bit of track.
Around the entire perimeter of the home. Yeah. And my parents?
Yeah, your railroad's at your parents' house, right? Your garden railroad?
Yeah. You want to? Yeah, I'm going to show you. Here's my. Let's do the share screen. So here's my 5-track yard. It's quite long.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This is in the backyard. Let's see here. Here is, let's see if we have a good photo of this. I don't know why it's not showing up better. Here's a great shot. I'm going to keep plugging Anchor, Anchor Brewing, because I love this brewery. This is a great photo.
I don't think that tow motor is equipped for the job.
The what? Oh yeah, right.
You need one of those big diesel jobs with the dual wheels on the front.
Yeah.
Right. There's more of the. This is from the NGRC. By the way, look right here. This is a granite rock car.
Oh yeah, I actually had one myself. Yeah, they're custom run.
Yeah, I was very happy to get one of those. Here is part of my railroad. This is with Scott's, a good friend of mine, Scott Kennedy's locomotive. As you can see that the pilot has a crack here, which we talked about earlier, which I was trying to develop that product for at that time. Let's see here. Here's our walkway, our front walkway, going into the front door. So we got 2 cutouts of the brick, and then we inlaid the track in there.
Do you have something laid in between the rails then too, or I'm trying to see there.
Let's see if I can show you. Let's see if we can zoom in a little more. Is that better?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we actually cut out the brick.
Very nice.
So we took a circular saw with a masonry or the cutoff disc, and just went right into it. Just went straight down, and we did it from both sides. But then, let me see if I can show the better. Oh, here you go. So we had to run some wire. This is when we had some track power, but there's actually lights going through here. So we cut that out, and this is before we redid the walkway. So we put new brick in. Where is that photo? Somewhere wrong here. There we go. Here's one of them. This is a curve that we laid in. So this is a new brick walkway that we had done. And these guys that did the brick walkway, I just drew a line and I made it perfect for the curve. And they just did it.
Wow.
They were amazing. They were like, zoom, zoom. They just literally cut it out in like seconds. I was like, all right, cool. So then what we did is, you see the brass rod here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I soldered it to the top of the railheads, right? So it would not sink.
Oh, okay.
Well, hold it.
And then I used mortar. Okay. And I used mortar to mortar the whole thing, fill it all in, and get it all in there, because that is not moving. That track is not going to move. And then to make sure that brass rod would keep it from sinking down as it was setting, right? And then all I had to do is just take a torch, unsolder it, and then just take a little cutoff disc and grind it off, and boom, we're good. Let's see here. That's the old walkway. Oh, here's another small corner of cutout track.
So did you keep a gap on the inside flangeway there on the insides of the rails, or did you just keep the concrete low enough?
Oh yeah, as it was wet, I actually, after it dried, I took a Dremel and made sure I cut out even more of the flangeway.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure if there was any issues, I cut it out. I think I have a photo of, where is that photo? Oh, here's another one. There's a side shot of that. And here's my test piece right over here. And I think I have a photo of that test piece of kind of how I just made a mock-up.
Just out of curiosity, with that last picture you had up there, I'm assuming there was a reason that you had to cut in that area there. Did you have to get out and around something to continue your curve?
Yeah. So this actually loops back into the front yard track. So as you can see, there's an S bend here.
Mm-hmm.
We actually made that a little bit more gradual, so it's not an S bend. So it goes. This track is in the grass, and we kind of made it so it's just kind of like it's in bush, I guess you would say. So we made it a little more gradual, so it's not really a hard S bend. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was and we even put wire through it just in case we decided to do any kind of track power of some sort, just because we felt like it. I wish I had that photo of that. There it is. There's our test piece.
Oh,
so
okay.
I just kind of made it kind of like a mold. I just got some random track and just, put the mortar in there and see how it went.
Oh, it's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know we kind of got off into a tangent, but was talking about the baggers. So I was asked to kind of bring it to the 21st century, and we started a Facebook page, started an Instagram, trying to get some more outreach, because our objective is, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. So all of our funds go to promoting and to educating about garden railways, the hobby. And so, we took it to the next step, and we're doing outreach, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to stay with the 21st century and kind of do what you guys are doing. So I think this is a great platform for clubs to continue doing outreach. They should be doing this in their area.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I have a question for you. Speaking of your club, with the disappearance of the big show, besides the NGRC, do you guys have your own train shows?
We don't have a train show, but our club hosts, well, not counting COVID, but we host we try to do swap meets.
Oh, okay.
Really, the big shows are when we have an NGRC, really.
You guys don't do like
the great
a
train
yearly
show,
open house, like tour of layouts or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, we totally do.
Okay.
I mean, we throughout the year we do open houses, and currently we can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have open houses all the time. I mean, again, we have over 300 members in our club.
Wow,
that's amazing.
And so that's a lot of members, and that's a lot of garden railroads. Not all of them have garden railroads. You can be a member without having a garden railroad. And we've had some people that, all right, Kenny, see you later. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for tuning in, Kenny.
We've had someone have an open house that didn't even have trains running. It was just an open house that showed his garden railroad as he was planning it. So he had like PVC going to all the routes of the tracks. That was it. And everybody enjoyed it. They were like loving, he asked for their input. People gave them their input, and it was just great. It's just such a fun thing. But yeah, we like to get together a lot. Our live steam group, those guys, they're definitely an eclectic bunch, and they get together more than a lot of times with each other. So they'll get together at one another's house and they have meets and stuff. So I have a live steam engine, so I have two of them, and I get to hang out with them every once in a while and run some live steam engines. But yeah, but when we have our we try to have like 3 swap meets a year. But we're thinking probably 2. We have one at our annual meet, or actually in our April. We have an April swap meet, and then we're still trying to figure out the best time for the end of the year swap meet. But that's usually big. So that photo of Ted and I was at one of those swap meets, and that was huge. We probably had like 30 tables of people swapping stuff. I got a 3-truck Bachmann Shea. Great deal, brand new. Couldn't believe it.
It makes me wonder with the amount of. I didn't realize how many people were into how big these garden railway clubs were in California. But with the amount of clubs and the amount of people there, I couldn't believe that why the big show would just disappear the way it did.
I don't know. I think, again, most of the manufacturers were East Coast. So when aristo-craft was here and Bachmann, Bachmann is here, but Bachmann and USA, they're all East Coast. So to come out to California, it's a lot. It's a lot for them to send their product out. It's a lot to get booth ready and all that stuff. It's a lot of work, and it's a huge expense for them. And so, the NGRC was a huge win for them, especially the 2016. They weren't. A lot of the vendors were not sure, and they kind of got a taste of what we're ready for them, and we delivered because they sold out on a lot of stuff. Yeah, but we're trying to make do with what we can.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was just trying to grasp because it seems like the club, the large scale clubs are much bigger in membership than they are out here on the East Coast. But yet our East Coast train show is very successful, where the big show is disappeared.
Right. It's hard because, again, they're all East Coast. So I mean, AML or AccuCraft and AML, they were a guest at our annual meet this last year. They set up a whole booth. Oh my God, they had some beautiful models there, and they displayed everything. So it was pretty cool to see that. But yeah, so AML's here, so they're ready to roll. And Pico, of course, they're in the San Diego, so they were nice enough to bring some stuff out. So yeah, but AML was our big win for us. But speaking of Pico, and I just want to say this is on behalf of the baggers. I got one of our customers for the CAMPAC box. Oh, hey, Fern Creek and Western Garden Railway, what's up? One thing I want to say is that Mr. Junks, my uncle just texted me. Steve Junks. I wanted to say something about Steve Junks. He is heading up the NGRC for Nashville. And unfortunately, Nashville has come into some really hard times because of COVID. And they're supposed to have the 2020 convention. So I really want to make sure we plug this before we end our stream here.
Yeah, not only did they have the COVID, but they also had that disaster where
right before they had that tornado come through too.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people had to work on their
garden railways.
Rebuild their guard railways. Yeah. So I asked him. I said, Steve, hey, what are you guys doing with all your 2020 convention cars? Because there's going to be no 2020 convention now. And he said, well, are you gonna have a 2021 car now? And he said, well, at this rate, if we don't sell our 2020 cars, there's not gonna be a 2021 car. And so, there's that tradition of having the each year car, right? Yeah. People collect these things. This just arrived today. This is the Nashville convention car for 2020.
Make that bigger, Andrew. Make that bigger. Hold on. All right, there you go, everybody.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Let me see if I can put this guy down on my my other camera so you guys can all see. Let's see if we can put it the right way. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that they really need some help selling these cars. If they don't sell these cars, there's going to be no 2021 car.
Are they?
So if I were
to on their site or anything, Colin, or?
I think so, but also RLD Hobbies has them.
Oh, okay.
On their website. But definitely, reach out to the Nashville and Nashville GRC and see if they can get you a car. Because if they don't sell these cars, I'm not trying to be a salesman here, but I'm trying to look out for our other garden railway societies because this can financially hurt this garden railway society and any garden railway society. It could be Nashville, could have been any other garden railway society. It could be the Central California coast. Doesn't matter.
Recall what the
I'm still
cost
going to
is
help
on
them
this, Colin?
I don't know. I think because so here's funny story. I was on vacation and I was talking to Steve, and I decided to take it upon myself. I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to call around." I called every garden railway society on the West Coast. I called every single president and vice president of their clubs and told them about this and see if they can make a bulk purchase for their clubs. Baggers, we bought, I think, like 46 of them. So it was great for us to do a bulk purchase. And that really helped them out. But I think our bulk purchase price was, I think, $68 because everybody included all their shipping into one shipping. So then we all would go pick it up at one location because we're all in the Bay Area. So someone actually just dropped this car off for me. So I got one other to give to my Uncle John. So, but yeah, so I think it's around 68, but I don't know what their shipping cost is. So check with the Nashville. You can actually go on RLD's website. They have it on.
That's what I was looking right now to see
box.com.
what they have on here.
But yeah, I'll come back to the shot of the convention car. So y'all can see it.
$69.89. It looks like on their site.
There you are.
I'll drop a link in the live chat for the show car there. Really,
but who knows? We might make a
terrible
coupler box
price,
for this. It's a really God. The design is so well done.
Yeah, it is.
I really like the design. It's the same on both sides, of course. So.
I mean, they're actually a really
they
decent
didn't-
hopper car too. I mean, I have quite a few of those.
This is a Pico hopper.
Mm-hmm.
I have actually not purchased a Pico hopper before. It's not a bad car.
Do you make anything for body mounting couplers on this, Colin?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk to Ted.
Yeah, the Pico mold is actually originally an MDC hopper. So Pico bought the molds from MDC.
No way.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Are you kidding me?
That's what most of mine are the old MDC ones.
Yep.
A couple of them are the Pico.
Oh, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it 10 times more now. I love those MDC cars. I think I actually have 2 of those. I have 2 MDC cars.
Do you?
They're painted SP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pico bought them.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these were the MDC ones that I got here.
Oh my God, that is the same
Let me see
car.
if I can bring that up.
There you
Now,
go.
granted, I have aristo-craft trucks on mine at the moment, but yeah, I probably got, I don't know, about 25
those are
or
the same thing.
30 of these now, I think.
They are legitimately the same thing.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I should buy a few more then. So again, just try and make sure you guys reach out to the Nashville or go see RLD Hobbies. Buy these because if they don't get these sold, they will not have a 2021 car. It's a cool conversation piece. We said that it was the convention car that never happened, so it's very unique. It's going to be a collector's item in my opinion. So
Yeah.
definitely get your hands on one.
Yeah, a lot of
And support Nashville.
a lot of the convention cars are hard to find because they're limited numbers and stuff like that. And so yeah, there's been a lot of very nice, unique convention cars over the years that they're just you just don't see.
Yep.
Andrew, as we're winding down our show, do we have our next guest lined up?
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you mentioned that because, like we said in the first show we did, we're doing this as a bi-weekly show, but obviously, as we talked about, we have the next bi-weekly show would fall on
Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving, and try as I might, and rightfully so, most people have plans that day. So we're actually going to do our next show next Friday then, which I believe that's what we talked about, right, Sean?
Yeah.
We're going to do it on the 20th. So then we won't have another show until but the 11th, I guess we'll pick back up again, right? Let me look at my my chart here. Yeah. So our next show that'll be 8:30 next Friday. We're actually going to have Matt Russell as our guest. He lives in Illinois, not too far from RLD Hobby actually, and he actually has his own YouTube channel, Southern Illinois G Scaler, I believe is what it is.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a nice layout. He's done a lot of nice weathering on his equipment, and just an all around pretty decent guy. And I think everybody will enjoy having him on the show and seeing what he's done with his layout, and maybe some weathering tips and that from him perhaps.
Right. All right. So for the viewers, yes, we were rolling it around, even though we said every other week. We decided not to host a show on Thanksgiving week. So instead, we're going to go ahead and do the next live show next week on the DAC Band Productions channel, because next week is the next live show is my turn, and then the next one.
Yeah, very good point. We're rotating. I forgot to mention that.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, Sean.
You're okay. And then the following one after that will be MrPictovid on the 11th of next year, correct, Andrew?
Yeah, the next one after that will be the 11th.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, and unless something changes, I'm pretty sure we already confirmed our guest for that one. That's actually going to be our friend Nico.
Nico Corbo.
Yeah.
Nico Corbo.
Yes.
Yeah. He'll be our guest on that show. And somewhere here I have some 3D things that he's printed that I have yet to do anything with. So it's just not you I've neglected, Colin. But we will have.
Well, I think one thing we missed on was just a few things on the 3D printing process, but we can talk about that another time.
Okay.
And we actually have our guest after Nico lined up already as well, Sean.
Great.
Which is actually going to be the day of Christmas. So I don't know how many viewers we'll get or not. It's not going to be till 8:30 on December 25th, but my local friend Jonathan Straczynski, he's shown up in the chat a few times. Jonathan the Fish Guy, he actually has his own YouTube channel with actually quite a bit about trains on there, but he's also into fish, hence the name of his channel. But he said, absolutely, I'll come on Christmas. He goes, I'm not doing anything in the evening. I said, well, all right, let's do it then.
Yeah.
He's been working on expanding his layout this year. Yes, Nico, I know. You told me last time. It's been a year since you gave those to me. I apologize. So just remember, Colin, you're in for a long wait. Nico gave me his parts a year ago. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna. Sorry, Nico. I'm gonna be pestering this guy left and right. He's gonna get Facebook messages, text messages, phone calls. I'm gonna do it because he's one of the few people to actually have the U25B limited run right now. And my dad, hey, the owner and property owner of the Camarillo Pacific Railroad just said, "Good show, thank you."
Oh.
Thanks, Dad. But yeah, what was I saying? He just totally knocked me out of it. Oh, Dad. But yeah, you're one of the only few people to have the U25B limited run, and I need to see it. Someone else install it. So
it's sitting there, it's waiting. I just have to get more than 10, 15 minutes to do something with it.
Yeah, you're spending all your time doing this live stream.
I don't know what I'm thinking, Sean didn't want to do it. I had to keep pestering him. No, I'm just kidding. Sean's been after me for a while to do this. He's like, why don't we do a live show? Why don't we do a live show? And I'm like, I don't know. A lot of things going on, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I've been really wanting to do this live show. I was really pushing to get this rolling, and Andrew's done a very good job with the graphics and stuff like that. So he's put a lot of effort into helping this idea, this concept of supporting the large scale community with a live show, and hopefully it just keeps growing bigger and bigger every year, and or every week, every other week that is, and we just keep getting these guests. And anybody who wants to be a guest of this live show, just send me or Andrew a message through YouTube or our Facebook page, either MrPictovid or Dakman Productions. Send us a message, and we'll see if we can get you when we can get you in and what you want to present on the show.
yeah, yeah. Like we said on the first show, it's not about Sean or I being the stars of the show. We're more interested in getting other people on the show and spotlighting them. Like I said, Colin. Like I said, I think he does a great service. To the hobby, and that's the thing I want to do is spotlight someone trying to do something available, or even people that just go out of their way to help invite people into the hobby, even.
Okay.
You kind of cut out there for a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I apparently am having some type of dispute with my ISP. I've been watching my internet speed kind of plummet here on and off. So
that might be because of OBS.
No, there's actually a legitimate issue. They told me they thought they took care of it yesterday, but set up a service call anyhow for Monday. And I said, that's great. I said, I can wait till Monday. So if there's been any bit of jumpiness in that in the live stream tonight, I do apologize. Unfortunately, I can't control what my ISP does all the time.
Yeah.
And with that said, this is probably the first time I've had issues with my ISP in like 3 years. So go figure.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So
looks like Nico's interested in your U25B kit there, Colin.
Yeah, Nico, we'll talk. Can't wait to see what you're going to be on this as a guest here. I want to see what you got. But yeah, let's talk. Hit me up, Facebook, email me. It's all on the YouTube. But yeah. Yeah, this has been absolutely an absolute pleasure. I'm actually really flattered that AML allowed me to show some pre-production photos. But yeah, here's the AML GP60. Yes, it is happening for those who have not known. But yeah, this is their pre-production model of the GP60. Do not worry that the trucks will be black, or they're not going to be gray or silver. They will make it right for paint scheme specific, I guess. But yeah, here's some shots of it. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to get to see the pre-production model next week. So stay tuned. We'll see what they say. Well, what I get to do with it. See if I get to whatever. I just can't wait to see it. I'll get a report back and show you that it actually is a real thing. But yes, it is a real thing. This is a proof that they have it in NS. So, but I can't wait to get the SP model on my hands. But yeah,
great.
No, Nico, you can't have the kit that I'm going to use eventually. He says he's interested in the kit I'm not using. No, it's not that I'm not using it. I just haven't put it into use yet.
Yeah, so I guess reviewing real quick, depending on what they are, if it's, like the 100-ton, it's just 2 coupler boxes. You have to get the 907s. So this would complete your locomotive, or this is for the 100-ton. So this is got 2 coupler boxes, and you would just use a 907 kit. You would use only the coupler, the So the coupler itself, the lid that it comes with, and the springs. That's it. You use anything else. And for the locomotives, they come with the plug, the pedestal, and the coupler boxes themselves. So there's 6 pieces in here, and then all the screws that you need for that. Again, same thing with a 907. Everything we do is 907. And yeah.
All right, great.
Very
Dennis,
nice.
This has been fun.
Yep. So we're gonna before we end the show, Dennis said he's looking for a USA Trains Big Boy. For those who don't know, USA Trains ended the Big Boy production in favor of making the FEF steam locomotive. So they actually sold the last Big Boy at the 2018 East Coast Large Scale Train Show, because I remember the sticker being on it said "Last Big Boy" in stock. So they're kind of like going to be hard to find now. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. It's been I once again I thank everybody for showing up. Don't forget, our next show is going to be next week.
Yeah, and if you keep an eye on either one of Sean or I's YouTube channels, we're both trying to make sure that we, regardless of who's hosting it, we throw it up as a featured upcoming event, so you can find it on either channel, or you can also check out our Facebook pages as well.
Right. And thank you guys. Thank everybody for hanging out and on our live show. And we're going to try and keep this going, and we're hoping to grow it, and hope to see everybody again next week. You have any closing statement you would like to say, Colin?
Oh, I'm thankful you guys are having me. I look forward to meeting some of you guys, talking to people about if they're interested in my products. Actually, our products. When I say our products, I say that with Ted and I. Ted Descaris, and also go to elmassian.com. I don't know if you can put that on there. Let me see if I can write it in the chat real quick.
Yes, if you can,
to you,
just throw it in
up.
the chat that we have there. I'll stick it up in there.
Also, Greg Elmassian is the person who hosts that. Very amazing person, a very nice guy as well. He's also helps with our development models. So Greg and Ted are vital people to this. Oh, I put 4 W's, didn't I? Oops.
Oh, the 4 W's makes it better.
Yeah, it's the extra. Yeah, anyway, so go to that website. You can learn about all the things that they have found to mitigate issues, solve problems with known issues on certain locomotives and cars. There are various methods of installing Kadees with or without the CAMPAC box. So Greg is a really phenomenal guy, so check him out. Check out their website. It has saved me, I'm going to probably say, thousands of dollars worth of mistakes. Thankfully,
there's a wealth of knowledge on there.
It's an incredible amount of knowledge. So, but yeah, so check them out. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Thanks to Ted Descaris. He's an amazing person and a great partner of mine. And without him, this product would not be what it is. And so, yeah, thank you both for having me. Thanks to everybody for watching, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Colin. It was wonderful having you.
Yep. Yes, it was.
So, all right. Anything left to say, Sean, on your end?
The only thing I have left to say is thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week on Backman Productions channel, because it's my turn to host it next week.
Yep.
And now it's up to you.
I'll just say until next week, just stay safe and have fun with your trains, everybody. Yep. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.